to the Coffee&Convos podcast.
Yes.
It's been a minute. We're trying to
It's been
do a
too
lot.
long. It's been too long.
I'm not gonna lie, it has been a long time. I'm like, oh, we have so much to talk about and catch up on. But at the same time, I did enjoy the little break.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie. I needed it. I really needed a break. I needed a reset. Yeah, I needed some time.
Yeah. And then we're also still figuring out our videos. Well, actually, we have a YouTube channel now.
Yes.
The Coffee&Convos podcast on YouTube. And we do have some episodes up that you may not have heard or seen. So
yeah, because we're still trying to figure out, the real situation and all that stuff. So
yes. But yeah, thank you for returning and listening. Yes. We're still here.
Yes, we're still here. We ain't going nowhere. We might take a little break here and there. We got kids, we got families. There's a lot going on, but exactly. We are back.
Yeah. So what's up with you? What have you been up to?
Oh my God, work.
I know you have a lot going on.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm doing a little home project.
Right. How's that going?
It was good, but there were some things that happened. I'll probably talk about that off air.
Okay.
That halted the project a little bit. So we were halted for 2 weeks.
okay.
And now we're back on track and we're moving right along. But the walls are up, which is really cool. The walls are up. All the doors and windows are in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm picking out fixtures and stuff. I think my tub and stuff is going in today. So that's exciting. I still need to get a vanity and stuff like that for the other bathroom. So
okay. When do you expect it to be completely done?
I think completely done by summer. I think before summer.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think before summer. They're moving so fast, so I think it'll be done before then.
Oh, wonderful.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. So that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
I had some work travel. I went to Arizona, which was really good. I needed that. I needed a break. You've
away. Been before though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Arizona. It's nice.
I've never been to Arizona, and I really want to go.
That would be a fun girls trip.
Yeah.
But more if we're just trying to relax and eat good food.
Exactly.
It's
on the radar for me to go to a wellness
retreat.
Type of retreat.
I really want to do that.
I really want to do that. I'm if I don't do it in a girls trip, I'll probably do it for my birthday this year.
Yeah.
I just want to go to a spa, do sound baths, and
it's so good.
Just get massages, get facial, eat good.
Yeah.
And just take in all the beautiful views. Maybe do a hike. I don't know. It depends on the heat.
True. Well, September, you should be fine.
Yeah.
You should be fine. It should be cooling down.
Yeah.
So you should be fine if you decide to do it during that time of year. Because remember last time I went in October and it was cool.
It was good.
It was 40 degrees in the morning.
Okay, that's kind of chilly.
Yeah, but it goes up to 75 during the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you have a chance to do anything outside of work, or was it just?
I actually did
work?
do a sound bath.
Oh, nice.
And it was with work. We sponsored something for the conference,
okay.
And it was a sound bath. So that was nice. I got a chance to do that. I got a chance to try some good food, and also see a friend that I know from high school. We've been friends for a long time, and him and his wife live out there. So they came out and had dinner with me. So it was nice.
Okay. What part of Arizona?
I was in Scottsdale this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was in
That's
Scottsdale.
awesome.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's such a beautiful place.
Every
time I see pictures, I'm always oh my God, I gotta make my way over there.
And there's views everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just driving down a residential street. I was gonna go to Phoenix. I had to go downtown to one of my facilities, and I'm just driving, and I'm wow, I get why people live here. This is so, it's just chill. It's nice. I'm this is nothing's ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're not driving past anything ugly. All the houses are really pretty. They have that Aztec look.
Terracotta.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah.
I love that. And just the views. You can catch a view anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere you're at, you're just oh, there's mountains. This is nice,
Yeah.
I feel Florida's so flat. So you don't really get, it's flat and there's just a bunch of buildings and I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Anything else?
God, what else? I'm starting to dive into taking some clients on in my business.
Okay.
It's more like a soft launch. Like
Okay.
I have one client so far, and like I'm like, okay, like, you know, setting up time with her and all that stuff, and like working with her, and just kind of putting myself out there in that way, like slowly, before I do like a full on website and all that
Right.
stuff. Just trying to like kind of mix and
Like
mingle
do like
right
the
now.
word of mouth situation.
Yeah, so I'm doing that right now.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
nice.
excited. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So what's going on with you?
Girl, you know,
Life be
live. You know, same old, just taking a day at a time.
Yeah.
Working on my Pilates. I actually have my machine now at home. So I'll be taking
saw.
students at home. Obviously, not like random people because it's at my house.
Yeah.
But you know, like our friends, our circle of friends, they're like, we'd be, you know, we wouldn't have no problem coming over. I'm like,
Yeah.
perfect. So I gotta like create a form and have people like let me know what times and days work for them so that I can create my schedule. So I'm hoping next week I could start taking, you know, some of our friends and people that I personally know.
Ooh, this is exciting.
So that's exciting. So it just gets me, you know, a little bit closer to being able to sit down for the exam.
Oh my God.
So I look forward to that. Yes, I'm hoping we're in what, April now. So I'm hoping, like, I would say by June I'll be done. And
Nice. Okay.
I could be fully certified and start teaching. I have taught at the studio where I'm doing my training as well. So that's been doing really well. I mean, I've been doing pretty good there. I really enjoy it. It's been great. And the feedback is always so, I don't know why I'm always surprised by the feedback. Because people are always like, I love your voice. It's so calming.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is for me, but every time I think about my voice, I'm like, ooh, I sound a little cringy, you know?
No, I think we all think about our voices that way, but you have like a calmness to you anyway. So they probably already feel calm in your presence, and then your voice is calm, you know?
So that's that. What else? You know, the kids being the kids.
Yeah.
They had spring break. We did, you know, we took them to Orlando. We did the Space Center. We did Disney. We did Legoland.
How was it?
I mean, it was a blast. I'm not gonna lie. They had a great time. We had a great time. It was nice. So we're just, you know, taking everything day at a time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Pretty much it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we both have had a lot going on then.
I know.
Oh, one more thing. I'm doing swim lessons.
Oh, wow.
I know. I signed up AJ.
Okay.
They just built a brand new Y near us.
Okay.
And they were like, come on over. Like, so her school director said like, oh, they have swim lessons there. And I was like, okay, I'll sign her up. And they were like, oh, we have adult lessons too. And I was like, oh, awesome. I was like, I need to learn how to swim on top of water. I was like, I can swim on the bottom. I can't swim on top. I need to figure this out.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's nice. It's
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm on like my fourth lesson.
Okay.
So
Have you seen any progress?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, a lot. Like I'm way more not that I was ever uncomfortable in the water, but I wasn't about to be jumping in to save anyone. Like I wasn't gonna do that. But now I feel like comfortable. I feel like, okay, I'm not gonna drown. You know, I'm okay. And yeah, I'm just learning. It's fun.
You know what?
There's another older
my butt
lady
over
there
because
that's with me that's learning, and she's super cool. And then there's like these older men that are there, these older black men. So yesterday, one of them came to like help me. He was like, look, this is what you want to do. He's like, he's like, swish your feet like this. And I was like, okay. And he was like, now boil the water. And I was like, oh, so
boil the water?
Basically how you kick your feet and the water looks like it's boiling.
Okay.
So that was like the way he explained it. And the instructor, she's like, I like that. She's like, because she uses like green light. She's like, green light or whatever. And that's what they do for the kids.
Okay.
Like go fast. But he was like, no, you want to boil your water. And he was like, now do this, now do that. And then it was so funny. And then there was a moment where like I was like taking a little break. He was like, now, I'm not going to tell you, you know, how long you're supposed to be breaking, but it looks like your break has been long enough. I'm going to need you to get back out there.
Wait, is he a teacher or is he a
He's not
student?
a teacher.
You know, old folks do not know how to mind their business.
Seriously. No, he was my instructor after that. That was it.
He took over the class.
Exactly.
He said, this is my class now.
And so my instructor was like, so, you know, when do you want to start? Like, do you want to work here? Like, when do you want to start?
That's so funny.
But yeah, it was funny. It was cool. It was nice. And where the Y is, it's in like the historically like black area of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice. You get to see, you get to see your people and stuff like that. And everyone's really sweet and nice. And it's 4 floors. So there's theater. There's a theater in there. Wow. There's like a really nice gym. There's basketball. There's aftercare for kids. There is a school attached to it too. So it's really nice. Yeah. I'm excited.
That's great.
Yeah.
How does AJ like the swim lessons?
She loves it.
Okay.
She loves it. She's having a blast, and she met this little girl, and they're like 2 peas in a pod, and they just have so much fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So it's 2 days a week for both of us. I can only go one day because work and stuff, but it's been enough. And I signed her up for like another set of lessons, and it's just fun for her. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And the birthdays are coming up.
I know. I cannot believe our kids are going to be 4.
I know. It's crazy.
That's insane. It's so much. It's gone by so quick. COVID messed us up. COVID took away like at least 1.5 years, 2 years from us.
Yeah. But on the same time, on the same side, I would say that we've actually been a little blessed because we got the chance to spend a lot of time with them at home. Mm-hmm. Whereas before COVID, it's like, okay, we're ripping and running. Everyone's doing something. Everybody's busy.
True.
And, we were blessed with that time to spend with our kids. And I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed being at home, like with my kids and family during COVID. Like, obviously the crisis of COVID was terrible. And, at that time, it was just all over the world, the pandemic was just terrible. But I feel like it was beneficial. I mean, it was great. I don't want to say beneficial. It was great for us being able to spend quality time with our families. Like, for me, when I look back at that year, although it was a crazy year, I also see like, I have these memories of just like, oh, remember when we made up this game and we did this and we had like our family walks and riding our bikes around the neighborhood. Like it was cute.
It was good. It was necessary time.
Yeah.
Because whenever would you sit still for that long?
Exactly.
You wouldn't, so to have a basically newborn at the time and just to be able to just be, sometimes I felt like Groundhog's Day. I was like, oh my God, we're doing this again. but it was nice to just like be home. I didn't have to think about work. I didn't have to think about anything. I just was home with my baby. And I was just like, you know what? I want this for my life. I want a life of ease.
Yeah.
I want to be able to take care of my family, take care of home, and just, if I want to do my little side hustles or whatever, I can do that. But I really want like a life of ease. I was just literally just talking about that this morning on the drive down. I was like, that's what I want for my life. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm always team like slow, easy. I don't want any nonsense, like
I've done the ripping and running.
Yeah, no.
I have. Like, I really appreciate the job that I have. Like, I can come and record right now. Like, and no one's looking for me. I mean, I'm available. I have my phone and stuff like that. But I'm very grateful for, like, where my life is at right now because it allows me to be present with my family, my friends, stuff like that. So,
nice. All right, so rolling on into the topics today.
Yeah. What are we talking about today?
Which topic you want to start off with today?
I mean, I guess let's start with, kind of what's been going on, the violence, I guess.
Oh, the gun violence, yes. Yeah. I did do, I was reading, and obviously after the school shooting in Nashville, which was pretty insane. I guess it just gets even more real when it comes. It was like close to home, you know, because obviously I've lived in Nashville. I have friends in Nashville. I have friends who have children in Nashville. Yeah. And to hear there was a school shooting, I was very like scared and worried. I'm like, oh my God, what school is it? Because I want to make sure like my friends are good and my family is good. And thankfully, it was a school that nobody I know, have their kids there. But also at the same time, it was extremely scary. Yeah. To know that now these school shootings are very normal here. Yeah. And it's like, no, this is not normal. This is not okay. Just because it's happening, more often here, it's not okay.
At all.
And I feel like we've just become so used to it. Like because of how frequent it's been, but I just keep repeating like, this is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal, y'all. Like, this is insane.
I literally, every time I see one, I'm just like, yeah, you know, I'm at out. Like, I'm gonna keep my kid at home. Like, I think about like homeschooling a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I talk with my friend that's a teacher, and I'm like, you trying to get on Zoom with AJ? Because I just don't like, when the Tennessee shooting happened, there's a lot of corporate offices in Tennessee, and one of my friends, one of their corporate offices was there, and she reached out to a friend and was like, hey, are your kids okay? And he's like, they're okay, but we're friends with somebody that
has a kid at the school.
A kid that passed away.
Oh,
and they were with them, and they said like the scream, like her scream when she found out that her child was killed was like earth shattering. And I'm like welling up right now, because I'm like, I can't imagine that I dropped my kid off and someone calls me to tell me that someone killed them. Like, what? That's just, it's so backward. In what world?
Yeah.
This world, you know what I mean? But it's like, no civilian should have access to weapons like that. I'm sorry. Like, that's just how I feel about that. Like, you shouldn't. I get it. You want to protect yourself, whatever. You don't need those types of weapons in your house.
No, I agree. You know, it's so conflicting, because I agree. No regular civilian should have an assault rifle. Like, what do you need that for? You can say it's my right, you know, and I want to protect myself and my family, but there are other guns. There are other guns. There are other weapons. You do not need an assault rifle
to protect your home.
You don't.
You don't. You're not going to war.
And then on the same time, we have civilians who have collections of assault rifles, and now we're like, well, should we get them too? Because you know, other people have them. Should we get them too?
Yeah.
You know, if all hell breaks loose and we're sitting here with our little and
our little Glock,
and they're gonna blow our brains out, you know, because
it's like, should we be prepared? Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so it's really, I don't know, I feel like we're at a place where we're being forced to be like, well, let's,
like, you need to protect yourself.
We got to protect ourselves for whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm totally 100% against guns, period. Assault rifles, regular, none of them. But, you know, again, we have family, we have kids, like, we need to protect ourselves and, our you know, and whatever else that we love and the people we love. We have to do that. Unfortunately, it involves guns. And gun violence is now the #1 killer of children and teens in the United States. It surpassed car accidents. Like, it's now
crazy. I read that the other day.
And we also have more guns than people here in the U.S.
Oh, wow. I didn't even read. What?
Yes. There are more guns than people in the U.S.
That's crazy.
And it just makes me think, like, wow, there's a reason why nothing is being done. There's a reason why they are not creating laws to help fix this problem, this huge problem that we have, right? And like the NRA is like one of the biggest machines behind all of this.
Yeah.
And
they don't want to let that go.
They don't want to let it go. No. But also here in Florida, aka the ghetto, like, I'm sorry, but Florida, we gotta leave. We gotta go. Because they just,
it's so good.
Ron DeSantis just signed a new bill, a new law, where now I believe it's effective on July 1st, where you don't need a permit to carry. So, like, anybody could just be out here with a gun,
just doing anything,
and nobody can stop them. The police can't stop them. You can be like, I ain't got a permit.
Yeah.
So, and then the people who do have permits, like, what do we do with our stuff? We just toss it out. Like, all right,
like, that's it. You don't need it anymore. So I didn't get a chance to like really read into it. Now, do they still have to do evaluations, like psych evaluations, like mental health or anything like that?
They don't do that now.
What?
Girl, they do not do that now.
Look, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that was in, you know, I'm not sure if
I mean, I should know. I had
checks.
What background checks? Yeah. That's what they do background check, right?
They
okay.
do.
Okay. No psych eval. Just that's what I meant. Background check. Yeah. Okay.
I believe
I was going to say they do something. Yeah.
I believe they'll still do that, but like, you know, who cares? Like, you know, like, I don't even know the rules of what passes the background check and what doesn't. Like,
true.
You know what I mean? Like, you could have gone to prison. You could have done this. Like, I don't know what slides. And you also have to think we live in Florida, so it's just
anything is gonna slide. Anything goes here. Anything goes here.
I'm crazy.
I literally always say, like, I'll say to Jake, I'm like, Jake, did we forget the stuff that happens in Florida? And I was like, and we were just like, yeah, let's move. Like, we just had like a mental block. And he's like, I know. Like, he says it now too, because he's like, what the heck? Like, it's super weird here. And I'm like, yeah, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, I definitely had a conversation with him. We're like, look, we got to start planning our departure from here, because I'm not saying we got to leave tomorrow, but I'm saying we need to start planning our departure from here.
Yeah.
Because I just don't. First of all, this place is just not okay. No, I was like, no Black person should be living here.
First of all, the Black population in Florida is very small.
Yeah,
it's very, very small. So I'm like, why are y'all still here? And some of the most horrific things have happened to Black people in Florida. Like, absolutely horrific. Like, do you know, what was it, Rosewood? That happened here. You know, that movie, that was horrific, and that happened here. But yeah, I say to CC all the time, I'm like, look, I was like, I grew up in a great place. I was like, we can go live in the suburbs up there. I was like, look, I don't like the cold, just like nobody else likes the cold. Either. I was but like, but I may have to dust off my bomber and go back.
Get the boots out.
I was like, get my boots out.
Get the shovel.
I love fall and winter fashion, okay?
I do too.
And I was like, I may have to do that, and just so my kids can get a solid education, like. And we're fighting to get good schools. Like, we're paying all this money. I'm like, why are we doing this?
We're fighting for representation in the schools.
Yeah.
Because the schools in the Black areas aren't good schools. And so then you have to take your kids to areas where
there's not a lot of them.
There's not a lot of people who look like them. And then that's a whole issue for me. I'm like, I need my kids to be around peers who look like them.
Exactly. We need a mixture.
It really does. Yeah, we need a mixture. It really does shape who you become as an adult.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's very important, and that's another reason where I'm like, we might need to go. Like, we need a bigger population.
Where would you go? Like, where would you?
Honestly, I would go to Philly. You know, and there's also gun violence there too. I know, but at the same time,
but you could live in a suburb of Philly. Exactly. You're really kind of blocked from it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I grew up in Ardmore, which was mostly black families and Black families that have been there for years. So I loved where I grew up, because I was like, this is awesome. Like, my dad's friends, like us as kids, we all grew up together. Like, they were all friends and went to high school together, and then we grew up together. And so I was just like, oh, I love this. This is like so cool.
Right.
But we still went to a school, and it was just kind of us. We all came from Ardmore or whatever, and everybody else was from like the other suburbs and stuff. But yeah, I think about it heavy. I was reading an article the other day, and Ardmore was like number 3 of places to live in the United States, like one of the best suburbs. And there was like 4 suburbs from Pennsylvania alone on that list. And I was just like, I was like, we may need to head out. Like, I tell CC this all the time. I was like, I would make that sacrifice of not being in nice weather for a little bit, just to have some solid ground for a little bit, because it's a little strange here.
I mean, and I'm also open to moving out of the country. I told Aaron that too. I'm like, look, you know, he's a doctor. I'm like, you can work anywhere in the world, literally anywhere in the world. So we're like, just point on the globe. Where are we going? Like,
when are we getting out of here?
I would have no problem leaving this country.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like we should keep our options open and start planning. And that's what I told him. And I'm like, all right, let's see, you know, let's create a list of where we would want to go, and, you know, do our research and figure out, you know, what we would do, what our kids would do. I know there's this influencer. She's a comedian. She's so funny. She's originally from Egypt, but she grew up here in the States, in New York, I believe. And so she got married, and she doesn't have kids yet, but her and her husband were like, we got to get out of here. Like, she's like, I want to have kids, but I don't want to have kids here.
Yeah,
it's not safe. The education is lacking. Like, there's just, I don't want to have kids here. So her and her husband moved to Dubai.
Wow.
It's like one of the safest places to live. The education is top tier. I mean, just the lifestyle there. It's overall, she was like, I believe this is going to be better for our family whenever we decide to have kids. And I'm like, you know what? You are not, I ain't mad at you, sis. Go ahead and do that because it's true. Like, you don't want to, and even if your kid is not around, haven't experienced any mass shootings or anything like that, I feel like just hearing about it on the news, and
it's so traumatic.
It's causing anxiety in children. More children are now on antidepressants. More children are missing school. More children are dropping out of school. Yeah. And it's also affecting people who graduate and like with their life and how their life turns out and the success rate of, whatever they decided to do. Exactly. It really affects all of that. So even, if your kid is not, even if your kid never experiences a shooting at school, it can still have like lasting effects on them, because I can only imagine as a kid who hear about a shooting at another school and you're like, is that going to happen to me? Is
that going to come here next? Like what are we going to do?
And then also the drills that they have at school causes anxiety in these poor kids.
Yeah, like you have to prepare if an active shooter comes in. Like we were preparing for fire drills.
We were preparing for tornadoes, which was also, I just got to say, it was very dumb because all we had to do was get in the hallway and lay on the ground and like go like
crouch
this.
over.
I'm like, the tornado could come right through. Like, what was that
just blow y'all away?
Like, what was that supposed to help?
Not funny because we were talking about gun pilots, but it's true. What was it supposed to do?
Because if it hit the school,
it's taking us out.
I'm done.
We're gone.
Why am I in the hallway?
They should have just taught us, like, look, we're going to pray.
I would be open to at least let's just pray together.
Let's just pray, yeah.
But, like, I need to figure out who thought of that drill. We really need to have a sit down with this person because I really want answers.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a video this morning of, like, a tornado blowing through Kansas, and it was literally just wiping everything out in its path.
Now, just imagine you're doing that drill.
You're just going to get picked. Yeah, you're just going to get picked up in your crouch.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that was just dumb. But anyways,
I agree.
The drills even themselves are like causing anxiety in children. And now children are just scared for their life, as they should be. And now parents are in a predicament where they're like, well, I still have to work, for parents who work. Yeah. And they're like, but I feel like I should not have my kids going to school because God knows what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Like, and then it just doesn't stop. I feel like I saw a statistic that said like we've had, I don't even know the number, but since the beginning of this year, we've had, I think every 2 days was some form of mass
I think there's
shooting.
been like 160 or something like that.
Yeah. And it's just like,
and I'm like, okay, so there's a lot that I haven't heard about. Like, there's a lot that I may have even missed.
Oh, for sure. You know what I mean? That's what I was like, having this
160.
conversation.
I'm like, how? When?
Like, Armin was like, oh, are you feeling numb to it? Like, is it so normal to you? I'm like, no, there's just so many you can't even keep up with them. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not numb to it. I just don't know
I don't think you can ever get numb to that as a parent. Like
I would never.
No, I can never get numb to that. Like I have a child that goes to school every day and I pray over her every day. Like every morning I get up and I pray and I'm like, God, please protect her. Please protect her school. Right. All of that. Like her teachers, everything. Because that's the last call you want to get.
Yeah, no. It's the most terrifying thing. I'm praying for every parent who has lost their kid in a mass shooting a school shooting because it's preventable. That's the craziest part to me, is because I know this is preventable, yet our country decides to not do shit about it.
Nothing.
I saw, like, I believe in 2019 in New Zealand, there was a mass shooting at a mosque, I believe. And a lot of people lost their lives.
I think I remember that.
It was like 50 people who were murdered that day. And after that, the prime minister, who is a woman, I forget her name, but either way, she was like, all right, we got to make a change. Yeah. She banned assault rifles. she had this like buyback program on guns and rifles.
I remember this.
So everybody was turning. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who kept some because you can't do it all. But I believe they collected so many guns. And ever since, they have not had another like mass shooting.
Wow.
And it's just like, wow, can we not?
Can we not get it together?
Can we not? And it's not that I feel like they just want to have this continuing because the NRA, you know, the NRA funds so many politicians. So they want to be on their good side. Yeah. And our governor, we all know that he wants to run for president. Yeah. So of course he's going to pass a bill.
I mean, I feel like every 2 seconds he just signed. They're like, DeSantis has signed a new bill. Yeah. And I'm like,
and he's like, of course
he's bill happy. Like he's just signing any and everything.
Because he he wants to be backed by the NRA. He wants them to fund his campaign. He wants all their donations. And they will. And now that he's signing this, you know, permitless, you know, gun carrying law, they're like, oh, we really mess with this man. Let me slide you a few, you know, $1 million here and there for you to become the next president. And it's all a game. And that's why I always say, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't trust no politician.
Me neither.
Democrat, Republican. Look, I'm going to still vote and do my duty. But at the end of the day, I'm not counting on these people to do much because of history. History have shown us
that they're not
really doing much. You know, and I don't want to sound like this person who say, don't go and vote, because I still think you should vote and I think you should exercise that right. But be real.
Be real. Mean, it is what and it understand is. That and they're not staying for you.
It is what it is. And we all know, like, I feel like politicians are here to make lives easier for those who are the biggest earners.
They're friends.
They're friends. AKA they're friends and themselves.
Yeah.
So that's it. Everyone else below that, they're like, we're going to get to y'all when we get to y'all.
Exactly.
AKA never. So good luck.
Exactly.
You know, sadly, that's just what it is. And I just remember my brother is like super intelligent guy, and he's like a self-learner and self-researcher. So once he's like interested in something, he will like research for days. Okay. One of my brothers. Yeah. He will research for days. He'll get all the information, the facts, the opinions, everything. And I just always remember him telling me, even when we were younger, he used to be like, Layla, politicians here, they're terrible people. Do not believe them. Yeah. And I used to be like, but the Democrats are going to do good for us.
They're going to do that.
And he was like, no, they won't. And I mean, he was like in high school and I was like, you know, middle school. I'm like, what? He's like, don't believe
because they're the same people.
Until, you know, exactly. And then now, you know, as an adult, and I was talking to him the other day. I'm like, I will never forget you telling me that stuff. And it's so true. And we were just cracking up because he was like, I told you.
Yeah, I told you not to trust them people.
And it's true. And it's just really sad. I feel like the only solution I would say to parents is if you can leave.
If you can leave, if you can homeschool your kids. I've been seeing that a lot in a lot of comments. A lot of people have chosen to keep their kids out of the schools. I'm actually
open to that. And for me, I think the best idea so that the kids can remain having that sense of like classroom and interaction with kids is like do like a homeschool like cohort at someone's house.
Yes.
You see what I mean? Like,
I agree with that.
For example, like my house, I'll, you know, like, you know, if you live closer, I'd be like, you can bring AJ and the other friend can bring this person. And so we have like a class of 8 or whatever the case is.
I'm down for that.
And the parents all chip in to pay the teacher to teach the kids in a safe environment, in a place where, you know, nothing's gonna happen. Exactly. You know? And so
they can have recess, they can do all that
they're
stuff.
They're still interacting with other children around their age. And, you know, I just feel like for me, that would be the ideal situation.
Yeah, I agree.
If you can't leave, that's the second best, you know, situation. And I know just saying, just leave is like, girl, you got to do a lot of things to just uproot your entire life. You know, if you have a home, if you have cars, like it's a process. But I do think it's something that, personally, I feel like Black people should consider.
I agree.
I definitely have that in my plans. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm like, look, we got to figure something out.
Like, something's got to give.
And Armin asked me, he's like, are you sure you could just leave? Like, you know, if the opportunity came and we were able to leave, you're not going to miss this lifestyle here. And I'm like, you know what? I've lived here for a long time. I came here when I was like 3. So I lived for 30 years. And I can honestly say I'm be good.
Yeah.
Like
I could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I've thought about it a couple of times, and I'm like, darn, I have a kid now, so like I can't just
like I've
up
done it
and
all.
leave.
I've seen it all. There's nothing else for me that I'm
I
like
could go.
I'm gonna stay here for this. There's nothing for me to say that for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm actually okay, and I enjoy having my kids experience other places, other cultures, and I feel like that in itself is education.
Absolutely.
So no, I'm okay with that. Now I feel like the kids, from the kids' perspective, it probably would be a little different because they're young. This is all they know. So maybe moving somewhere else would be a little adjustment. But at the end of the day, kids will be fine. They're very resilient. They adjust to things, I feel like, better than we do.
Exactly. As long as you're not like moving them up and down all the time. If you find a place and you're like, okay, we're going to settle in and the kids are going to go to school and stuff like that, I think that's fine. I think kids struggle when they're the new kid every year or every other year, every couple of years, they're the new kid. I think that's when they really struggle. But I think if you find a place and you're like, okay, guys, this is where we're going to settle in. This is going to be our new life. You know, we got to integrate into the culture and stuff like that. I think that kids can be like, okay, this is it. This is they're grumpy at first, but then they're like, okay, this is going to be our life.
Yeah.
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 But I would definitely consider that, or the homeschool thing. I talk to my friend about it all the time, about like friends coming together and like maybe buying a block together and just being like, okay, like this person's gonna do school, this person will go out and get us groceries this week, this person will do this person will do that, and like we can all still individually work, because I feel like most of us either work from home or have the ability to kind of work anywhere. And then just raise our kids that way. I feel like that's what we have to do, because nobody's coming to save us. No. And these laws that are coming in and all this stuff, it's not going to be beneficial for our next generation, I don't think. Not for our kids.
Yeah, the environment, like the livelihood here is just like decreasing over time, I feel like.
I agree.
And life expectancy is decreasing as well. The foods that we're eating filled with chemicals. It's just like a list of like goes on and on. The healthcare.
Yeah, like I would love to live in a place where I can go get my fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, and get fresh stuff, and not
have to worry about what you're eating, what your kids are eating every day, and all the harsh ingredients that they put in our food. It's just like,
we can't win.
Yeah. No, it's literally a setup for failure.
Exactly.
Whether it's your health, whether it's your mental health, whether it's, I don't know, violence. Like it's like a wham bam. Everywhere you turn around, it's like bam, bam, bam,
exactly,
bam.
Exactly. And I also feel like, not to say that people aren't aware, but I feel like the people that are aware are like, we gotta do something. Like something's gotta give. And I feel like it's a very small. I feel like it's a very small group of us, you know, that are like, okay, we gotta do something so our babies are okay.
Yeah, and if you can, obviously, because I feel like
not everyone
can. Yeah, like it's hard, it is. So yeah. Anyways, I just pray that we don't have any more school shootings and mass shootings, and I just pray for a change.
Yes,
I really do. And pray over your kids and your families, and it's just, I don't know, it's really scary times here. I feel like.
I agree. Pray over your families. Pray for your friends, pray for their families, all that stuff.
Everybody. It's so funny because sometimes when I'm praying for people, I'm like, I have a whole list. I'm like going over everybody. And I'm like, okay, God, just make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, all right, let me wrap it up. Yeah. I'm like that too.
I'm like, please pray for the nation, the entire nation, God. Yes. Cover everybody, please, because we all need it. We all need God's covering and God's love. So
yeah.
So.
And one last thing, if you don't have, I know some people don't necessarily have like a relationship with a higher power, whether it's God, Allah, whatever, like draw close to something, the universe. I think it's a really important thing to do right now. Like practice, like have some sort of spiritual practice. I think it's super important. I think it really helps you to get through the day. I know I do it every morning. I try to do it at night. I incorporate it with AJ now as well. Like I just do a simple thing like, thank you for waking me up. Amen. Like something like that. But I think it's super, super important. I think it's what's kept me grounded through life. I know me and you have talked about that, like how your dad prayed a lot and like how you do too. But I think it really helps with grounding you, especially with everything that's going on in the world. It's like my North Star, because I think I would be falling apart like if I did not have that practice.
Prayer is extremely powerful. I always say that. And like you said, I always mention that. I'm like, I don't know how I got through life and a lot of these things that I went through in my life, but I know for sure this is the covering of like my father praying for me, my family praying for me, my
your
mom,
ancestors,
my ancestors. Like I've always been around people who prayed.
Yeah, me too.
And did not play about praying.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's one of my biggest blessings in this life. And being around people who, like my dad, introducing me to God. Yeah. And introducing me to our faith. And introducing me to, being a good person, like in your heart.
Absolutely.
Those are the priceless things that you can give your kids.
I'm telling you.
And they pay attention. Like they really do. Like my son will pray. Like he'll pull out, the rug sometimes, and he'll be like,
oh, nice.
Just, do whatever he wants to, he'll try. And so does my daughter. And so just, you really have to set that example if you want that for your kids. And like you said, I'm like, all right, now you better say, thank you, God, for giving me this healthy food. And he'll be like, he'll look around looking for God. And I'm like, you can't see. I'm like, you can't see him. Just say, thank you, God.
Yeah.
And he'll like, thank you, God. Yeah. He'll literally look around like,
that's
is
so
he in
funny.
the sky? But yeah, I definitely agree with you with that. Yeah.
Oh, but I think is that it for us today?
Yeah, I think that's it
for this episode.
We don't have a lot of time. We started a little late, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yes. But thank you guys for listening. Please keep listening. Send us questions if you want to know our opinion on anything. And that's it.
Yes. Alrighty. Goodbye.
Bye.